Hi everybody, welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way, and we are on session 129. Uh, Leading up to this session, the Menagerie, Crass Menagerie, excuse me, uh, had been awoken by Karos, who had noticed that the storm clouds above Carver were giving off the appearance of a dragon's maw deep within the swirling center of it. While not like a full-blown hurricane, there was a central mass to this very slow-moving, lingering storm at night. The menagerie decided to get up and investigate the Tefra Shelf because they had picked up on multiple lightning strikes in that area. Going through town, the town seemed normal. There was no calls for fire after multiple lightning strikes. There was really no one outside, but there were, but not, it was not that it was vacant, but there was no extra amount of activity in the evening. Eventually, the menagerie made it to the Tefra Shelf. They attempted to infiltrate and to distract and pull on some shenanigans where their actions had eventually would lead up to them coming into contact with one Maxime Laurent, a pompous, arrogant, high high class member of the Tefra Shelf, which would later be identified as one of the heads of the families. And in fact, with some more uh, disclosure on information within the inner workings of Carver, he is essentially the head of the Tefra Shelf itself. He holds the most power and the most sway. Uh, the Menagerie, very briefly, were able to vortex warp him outside of the confines of the Tefra Shelf and were able to begin to kidnap him. However, they very quickly stopped with Dragnar's intervention and some quick discussions, and then they dispersed. Upon dispersing, uh, Rock got abducted by two cloaked individuals that were seemingly prepared to deal with someone with magical capabilities and tools that would allow them to manipulate the arcane. However, the menagerie were all mentally linked thanks to telepathic bond. So though he was bound and gagged, he was still able to communicate little bits and pieces of what he was able to see, and that assisted the menagerie along with Sej's locate creature spell to track him down to the northeast of the good gem dusts in the Soot Flat region, the basically sprawling shanty towns that surround Carver. They went to the location known as the Burnt Water hotspots. They're getting with staggered arrival, the menagerie began to try to find a way to well locate Rock, which eventually, thanks to the help of Hans, they found a secret trap door below the waiting area. Upon entering and going down single file, uh, they were assaulted by a tiefling that had his very pale purple skin, whited out eyes, and has a singular horn that grows from the right side of his head, wrapping around the back, and then pointing out to the left, uh, or the other way around. I can't remember, but that does that's not here or there. Where he was waiting at the bottom of the stairwell leading down to essentially like the cellars, uh, and lit them up with a lightning bolt. Immediately afterwards, a massive black and gray furred minotaur came charging, goring in, but mostly thanks to Karos, Davis assisted, they were able to stop him from piling through the entirety of the menagerie that were there. Dregnar was the last to arrive because he switched his focus on the dusty pick, thinking that maybe Scoot was something to be involved, as he did notice that when they dispersed, there was some activity over there. Uh, but uh, rather than fighting it out, the menagerie managed to discuss it out with these two individuals who later introduced themselves as Mole Solomon, a exiled member of the Tefra Shelf family, Solomon, and descendant of Taiga Solomon, the at one point head of the family, uh, and then another one as Ino Goija, that was a tiefling. They both were their uniforms or their clothing were embroidered with the symbol of a white candle with a flickering red flame, which was identified as the Candlelighters, a overall positive organization that seeks to weed out corruption, tyranny, and make sure that people are living as fair of a life as possible. And with discussions of between themselves, between the menagerie and these two Candlelighters, the Candlelighters revealed that they were not here to stop a cult or to stop anything that was going on in the terms of magic. They were here because they were investigating the corruption of the Tefra Shelf, and Solomon had a personal grudge. The menagerie were invited into, well, the menagerie were later invited into Gorge's sanctum, his elemental magnificent mansion, where he conjured it up using the four orbs placed, and within it was an elemental landscape that he could bend to his will. Most notably, he made Davis a waterbed out of clouds and fresh water. Uh, Having a good night's rest, the menagerie have now basically reconvened in the morning. Uh, Eno Goija and Mol Solomon were already awake, discussing amongst themselves what to do, but the menagerie had decided to do some sort of course of action that they are not aware of. Uh, and in the morning, when Sej stepped out, I don't remember if anyone else stepped out, as Goija had informed them that it stopped raining. Uh, to see this, to look out, he saw that it did indeed stop raining, but due to his keen mind, he was able to pick up that the rain itself had not changed. It had not lessened or had not become more intense at the same time yesterday. But due to also thanks to his high perception, he heard a town crier giving mention that there was reward for information on the whereabouts and or condition of one Halifax Maxine. And that is essentially where we pick up with the menagerie hearing the tie, well, with some members of the menagerie having heard the town crier, returning back to the cellars of the burnt water hot spas, where the candlelighters and the rest of the Crass Menagerie await to discuss and to see what is going. Is there anything I forgot, or is there anything anybody wants to fill in?
I think it's good.
Cool.
What was the reason why Mole was ostracized again or kicked out?
Mole, according to what he said, he at some point when he was a very young, say, calf, he saw a a a drake scale, right? Like one of the dragon scale people. Um, but no one believed him, and he always had a funny feeling from some of the members of the Tefra Shelf. And as he grew up, he kind of was more like of a rebel. He never gave you his exact reasons for being kicked out, but he eventually was exiled due to just being, I don't know, maybe a pain in the ass for the head of the Tefra Shelf.
Adversarial? I
Yeah,
feel
or
you.
something.
Been there, done that. All right, cool.
Yep, yep, yep. Uh, so, all right, I'll leave it to you guys. Let me know what's going on. I will try to run with it.
Hmm. Walk back to everybody and from putting my ear to the outside since hearing the crier, I'll walk back to everybody. So, what any advisement for what you want to accomplish for today? Speaking to the non-party members, I mean, like Mole, unless they left. And
They're definitely down. They're within the dimensional space of the mansion, but as you
Can I walk
re-enter,
back in it?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, you're one of the welcome people. So the door, the sheen of the door is visible to you, and you're able to slide it open, walk in. This and well, as mentioned this morning, because you certainly slept in after
Absolutely.
the evening. Um, we've already discussed with Scoot some of our findings and concerns, but we did not bring the menagerie's involvement into. Uh,
Wait, hold on, go back. Wait, hold on, 1 second. You've discussed with Scoot your
we were
findings?
no, well, we are, as mentioned, we were hired and were brought here by Scoot. He's the one that alerted the Candlelighters to actions being needed to be done within Carver.
Sorry, after being nearly gored by your Minotaur friend here, but it's very good. Keep it up.
Sorry.
Anyways,
Eh,
hey, it's no blood lost in the end, you know? And you know what? Like I thought we had common drive, so it's okay. Either way,
yeah, we
Rock,
discussed. Go ahead.
Yep. Hello.
I'm gonna wrap my hand around your shoulder and walk it a little bit further away from earshot. Have you shared with them your book? I don't remember. It was a long day.
Uh, Scoot saw my book briefly, but
Yeah,
otherwise,
I'm talking about our friends here.
no, I don't. I don't think they spoke of it. I haven't shown it to them. Do you want me to?
Well, if they're aligned with Scoot, maybe they have more of an idea what Scoot was so interested in the book about.
I. I mean, as long as we get it back,
Well,
hand it
I'm
to
not
you.
saying give it to them. I'm just saying you might want to bring it up in conversation if you want to glean some answers. But either
I mean, I.
way, I feel like we're gonna talk to Scoot at least one more time. Just an idea.
Yeah. I just. I didn't find anything in there that was totally damning of anybody. Point where I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, I don't want to quite give it up yet. I'm willing to let people look.
Right.
Do you want to have a look at it?
I'm not terribly interested in what's inside it. I'm more interested in what everybody isn't telling us. Like Scoot. Like there's something happening that nobody's really keen on talking about what's happening. And the book
Yeah,
might be the key to bring it out of everybody. I remember you talking about the book and it kind of I didn't have to read through the book to glean the details, you know? So the book's not that interesting to me, to be honest with you.
I just I don't know who to trust in this town. It's like we can't trust anyone. I don't know.
I have a good feeling about these two.
Yeah, I mean, you, yeah, I don't like him.
If you don't like them, that's okay. Either way, I feel like we should glean more details from Scoot. I wasn't present for the last conversation you guys had, but I had no suspicion of the man until now. You know?
I I'm fine with that. But Scoot doesn't get to have.
You know, I'm gonna walk back to the group just in full chatty mode with Rock and stuff. I was thinking you said something about Scoot, just like full volume. I'm just talking out loud now. You said Scoot was one that hired you and stuff. Looking at Davis, I remember we had just a recent conversation with Scoot, and I'm intent on going to talk to him again. And I think that's the first thing that we should do today, unless anybody else has any better ideas. We're kind of lacking ideas at the minute. Other than that,
No, that makes sense. I mean, I think Isn't that? Yeah, that's where we were gonna go last night anyway. Before Rock got taken.
Rock's really good at meeting new friends.
Yeah, it's true.
Sure treated me like friends.
What's a little goring between friends? Huh?
I'll like lightly punch Mole like the shoulder.
I'm going really hard on you, Mole. I'm sorry. I could have just, what's a little lightning magic between friends? That was a little more painful. But hey, either
That
way.
was Goija, and for me, I'm old enough that I don't care. I already apologized. We took actions because we saw someone that looked like a cultist.
So I got a
Trust
question.
me, we're a little fast on our reactions too. It's okay.
I have a question for you, Mole. So, were you always with the Candlelighters, or have you been here in town this whole time? I don't. Maybe we discussed that and I missed it. But it sounds
Mm,
like you came from Astravera, right?
no, 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 no. You
That's
got Goija and I flipped.
oh. Well, no, that's what I'm
Goij,
saying. Goija is from Astravera, not you, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm originally from here, but I have
So you came back here with the Candlelighters.
after, yeah, after like 50 years or so.
Oh wow. Okay. I didn't. So you were like exiled from Carver, not just from the shelf.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
they see me, they're probably gonna,
So like
well,
Scoot is special. Like he got kind of exiled, but is still influential and hanging out in the town. You
Scoot
got
has the entire populace behind him for the most part.
yeah, all the more reason to go talk to him. I think then. So I like the idea.
I have. Well, you said you were employed by Scoot before. Well, even now, maybe. Either
Well,
way,
yes.
he he struck my friends. They told me he struck my friends as he was maybe hiding something, right? And I intend on gleaning the details myself.
Yep.
But I have a suspicion that he's not hiding something out of malice. Do you know anything more about this? I'm kind of pressing them a little bit.
Let me insight check you. Uh, all right. I'm assuming this is DM. I'm assuming you're talking about like I rolled a 19 total, so I
Oh, that's
assume you're
very
talking
good.
about like
That beats it.
his memory loss thing. Is that what you're pushing at it? Like
Um, More so his interest in the book and his hush hushness about like
okay,
current events.
Trying to
Not so
figure
much
out if
his like long-term memory, but
yeah, gotcha.
because he seemed cagey, so it was kind of the question of like, is he hiding something because he was working for somebody in the city, which we kind of figure is not the case based on what these guys said. But so then it means he was maybe trying to hide something because he knows something and is trying to keep trouble
yes,
from
exactly.
coming out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not to glean
Uh,
all the details to them for their
yeah.
learning insight, but in my head, I think, well, we were all talking about it a little bit, and I personally think that Scoot's memory problems is a root of him being exiled from the like shelf or whatever, and he knows what's happening. He's just not ready to glean it in case something happened.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Maybe he's like a rebel. He's just not wanting to talk about it to travelers, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah. So Mole, uh, honestly, I've only known Scoot more of like a story before coming back here. When I was little, he was a name that was set on the shelf, kind of in with like a negative tone to it. I never quite understood that part of it, but I was a kid. Now that he's brought the Candlelighters' attention here, I mean, I wish I could tell you more. He does seem a little bit absent-minded at times, but I mean, he's also old. He's
Yeah.
he's something like 500 or something. I don't
Well, he
quite know.
also employs pretty much half the town, if not more. He's pretty
Yes,
much the workforce of Carver. Am I right?
he's he definitely has kept what little of worth is here in Carver distributed to its people as best as he can. Well, at least that's not being hoarded by those on the shelf.
I think some of the details are coming together in my head.
Okay.
It's
Um, that's good. Like if if you wish, we can definitely take you to him. There's not much in the sakes of hiding. We just didn't bring you up in conversation because it was not pertinent to candlelighter matters. So we did it out of respect. So um, I will
any
once it.
anything else anybody else want to take care of, but or we could go to Scoots either one. Doesn't matter to me. I could even go alone. I'd rather talk to him too.
I have a quick question for the two of you, pointing to our other friends. How
Yeah.
did Scoot get a hold of you guys? Like, how did he contact you? Like, and
Oh,
how did he
I mean,
know about you guys? And why would did he say what specifically he was bringing you here for?
he didn't reach out to Eno and or to sorry to Mole and myself directly. There's means to get in contact with the Candlelighters. I believe, if I recall correctly, it was along one of his uh, caravans that went to Whitlaw. They had they had a second goal rather than just delivering soil. They suck out to find some Candlelighters and basically start communications. Um, we just happened to be the ones that they assigned. Well, I was the one assigned, and then Mole insisted on joining.
Sorry, I'm frantically looking for my notes of when we left Volpine to see if I can get a name to drop from the caravan that
I
was in Volpine.
got you. Um, don't think it was Willem. I don't remember their names. Um, but he'll say, but this was. I mean, we've been kind of working here for well over 7 or 8 months now.
That long.
It's it's a slow process.
It's an ongoing problem, it sounds like.
Yes, and now there's, according to y'all, another problem
I
because
think
of
it's interrelated.
yeah, again, I think we have the same hunch, but we were not sent here to deal with a cult. We were sent here to deal with tyranny. Though it's not to say that Mole and I can't be of assistance. Uh,
You wish to help? If our
I
goals
mean,
align, of course.
no, I'm sure our goals align to a great degree. It's just, in a way, we have to be careful because we both represent Candlelighters, and we are not a organization that does war in a sense. Using it,
I understand. You
we help. We, but sometimes help requires a more heavy hand.
you assist diplomacy in the shadows. I understand. I've seen groups like yours before. They're very helpful. Do great work. I'm sure you do.
We try, and thank you. But yes, because you have brought the other goings on here in Carver to our attention, and because we are hopefully capable of assisting, and Mole has a vested interest here, I'm pretty sure we are willing to assist, even if it means stepping out of what we would normally do.
Well, I assure you that, and I look around to everybody, I assure you that we fully intend to leave this entire mountain healed before you leave.
Or at least on the path to healing.
Hmm.
Right now, we're just saying on the mend.
Yeah, exactly. Our
I
little
don't wish to.
our little friends, we now call them the keepers of the mountain. I think they're the ones who are gonna keep it on the right path. So
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that's why you asked if we like kobolds.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
The kobolds are here to stay, and they're the new keepers of the mountain in whole.
Hmm.
So I want to, mm, not to tell you to be friends with them, but they're the new keepers of the mountain. You know?
They're a
I'll tell
potential
you,
good
you should be
ally.
friends. You should be friends with them. They're cool. They seem to be very much in line with your. And then I'll just like point to the patches on the uniform, like thing.
Mm,
Well, you are very perceptive folk, especially that you have to stick to the shadows. However, I implore you that kobolds are here in Carver, everywhere, whether you see them or not.
understood. We've seen a few of them scuttling around. Then I guess they don't technically scuttle. Scurry. They scurry. Scurry. Mole will kind
I'm hoping to inspire some nicer treatment of them. I know they are prone to stealing and the such, but I really want to emphasize that they only do so out of necessity. When they're hungry, that's how they know to get food. You know?
understood.
I'm just drabbling now. I'm just rambling.
Yeah. So we're gonna go talk to Scoot, I guess.
Very well. Do you want us to accompany you?
I don't think so. I think you've got what you were here to do, and maybe kind of see if you can figure out more about this cult thing. See what
Very
you're hearing
well.
about it, ears of the ground type thing. But yeah, I think we're good.
We'll be seeing you guys soon. Whether something happens or we see you again before something happens,
And if you hear one of
we'll be
these
in the
guys in your
town.
head, that's so. I mean, you know this, and then I look at I'm like, yeah, never mind. Sorry,
Oh,
you understand how that
true.
works. But that might happen if we need you. Just sorry, I'm an idiot.
No, you're absolutely right. I forget my manners sometimes when it comes to those kind of messages. I kind of have a propensity to talk to people from a distance without warning.
I assume you can do the same if you need us, right? Is that a
I
thing you
can
can do?
consult. Uh, I have means to get in contact if needed. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, that
Well, my
being
mind's ear
said,
is open for you when you need it.
very well. Um, well, we will. Hmm, what's a good way to say where we can meet if needed? if we are not down here, where would be a good place for us to reconvene?
Where was that bar?
It's not a bar,
Where
but
was Dregnard coming from? Oh, that's right. That's not a bar.
he was coming
That's the
from the
name,
Dusty
right?
Pick. Gritmeyer's is the name. So there's a family, dwarf guys, really loud and obnoxious, but ultimately pretty nice. Uh,
And it's
they
not a bar.
and it's
He's the one that was sent to keep an eye on Scoot's integrity of work, right?
I don't
Name's
know,
familiar.
maybe. But
Hey, if
it's a
that's
building
the
with a
case, you
giant
know
tree
more
grown
than
out
us.
of it. So if you see a building
Yeah.
with a giant tree grown out of it, that's it.
Keep a keen
It's
eye on that tree.
and
Well, yeah, I
I'll
know
just
that much.
describe the general area of where it is. Yeah, it's like it's in the central district off of the
Yeah, South Central. Got it.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Very well. Understood. Very well. We'll stay in touch. Let us know if we will also keep in mind's ear out for you. I would Mold kind of turns his head to Rock. I would make sure no one sees you walking around with that blade unless you want them to unless you want to draw a lot of attention to yourself.
Well, that might be in the
Yeah.
plans eventually. We did hear that there's a bounty for information for the one who bore that blade, perhaps, and it might be our ticket inside. But we kind of want an idea of what we're doing before we do something crazy like that, you know?
So if before you go, because that's the one thing that doesn't add up in my head, you have that blade and you got it off of and Mole kind of does this little hand gesture because that's how Al did the illusion of that thing that you showed me. That didn't look like a person.
Oh no.
That looked like one of
No,
those
they're
things
not.
that I saw.
Yeah,
So does that mean how did they get the blade?
I mean, they are
You
able
know
to
more than
turn.
us.
They're able to like turn these other creatures into dragony people. So maybe he turned into one. I don't know.
It's
That's a
disturbing.
question for us too.
Or maybe he just took it.
Well,
Maybe it's just simpler than that.
oh, again, don't let them see the blade if you don't want attention. Good luck. Looks like the rain, as you saw, has definitely went from a storm to a drizzle.
Yeah, Rock, don't let him see the blade, you know? Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Yeah, no, I got it. For the fourth time, Jack. Thank you. I'm I I'm gonna just glare. Like,
All right,
Okay.
think we're ready. Anybody got anything?
Oh, I will say one other thing. If anyone here says they're with the Candlelighters, besides us, do not believe them. Just
Yeah,
in case.
that's good information. Thank you.
Is your presence here known?
It shouldn't be.
Got it. Okay. I will just be like, I don't know what the candlelighters are. Bye.
I'll nudge Dregner on the way out. They were saying earlier that they're literally the only two that are dispatched here. It's a part of a greater collective, but you know.
Like, I got you. Very well. Are we? So what's the plan as you guys are walking out? Dreadnought starts like cracking his knuckles. What's the plan on Scoot? Scaring him straight? Are we?
In a way.
Or are we
That's the
just
reason
gonna
why I didn't really want to bring them.
are we just gonna try to fix his memory? So you crack the headpiece open,
Yeah, is it?
we start fiddling around and
Well, wait. Is that how you fix it? I thought, like, I, I don't know how to do that. Do you guys know how to do that?
I'm not a professional on automatons.
But yeah, we
I'm
should
not
fix
a
it.
tester. I am, however,
Can we?
trained in diplomacy in magical means.
Davis looks at you blankly. He just doesn't get it.
I think we just bring up and try to get what he remembers about the people that the Candlelighters are worried about. I feel like he's got to
Right.
know something. It might not be everything, but even if it's something that can point us in a direction.
I might have means of bringing up whatever truths he might store, whether he knows it or not. If that sounds interesting to you. I had no ideas that he was hiding something like that the last time we met, and that night craziness has ceased, like not stopped from happening. So I think it's due time to ask him something. And Drekna and well, the rest of the party other than Karos would remember. But do you remember feeling very forthright all of a sudden when I lit some incense and threw up an aura in that hag-ridden town in the underbelly of their sewers? Do you remember that?
Is that when we had Harley or whatever?
Yes, that was his name. Harley. Exactly.
Yeah, I remember feeling
Well,
a little weird.
I'm gonna try that. We're gonna lock the doors behind us and get some truths out of him, whether he likes it or not.
Will that fix him?
I don't know.
Huh.
I've never done it to an automaton. I don't even know if it'll work in the first place. But it's worth trying. We have no other leads at the minute, and I'm not even he. To me personally, I'm making kind of a story in my head, but he basically runs Carver. But he was kicked out of the higher rankings of Carver, but he still dwells here. It's like they need him. He's probably okay. Maybe he's evil. I don't know. We could find out. Whether it'll make him hate us or not, we can glean the truth and know where we're standing.
I'm down.
Alright. Um, well, like you said, sir, it's not raining too bad, so I guess we go.
Yep.
You just, I don't know, give me a sign if you need me to start breaking fingers or something.
Wait a
And
minute, Dregnar.
Kidding. I'm
we
kidding.
want to get
Okay, I was
this
gonna
right.
say kidnapping's not okay, but just randomly assaulting people to make them talk is fine. Okay.
No,
I'd like
it's
to go
not.
on record to say that we weren't kidnapping. We were borrowing briefly, questioning. Sound plan. Kidnapping.
So as you guys kind of head out from the cellar and the Burntwater, getting back into the shanty towns that is the soot flats of the northern portion of Carver, you will, with some with distance between you and the source of the sound, you will hear the town crier calling out. Uh, the shelf is looking for information and giving a reward for anyone that can provide details on the whereabouts and well-being of Califax Larone. Come to the gates if you have anything. You just hear it every once in a while, kind of through the distance. As you get to the glittering walls, stepping through the arches, back into the gem dust, kind of path in a way, taking that same route that you did in a but with less of a hurry as you were chasing to find where Rock was. You see the yellow flower pot and the two barrels where there used to be three. But you do fairly quickly get back to the more modern looking metal building of the Dusty Pick. Oh yeah, and a cool boulder. It's a cool boulder. Excuse me.
Alright.
That's a nice boulder.
It's a nice boulder.
I want to paint it.
A lot of the the children seemingly like get whatever stains and paints on it and try to just keep it colorful.
Reminds me
That's
of
what makes
Green
it so
Hill.
cool.
How was that? I forgot what name it was. Green Hill.
Oh, I thought you were just
I
being like
forget.
purposely kind of poetic
Well,
and vague.
Half and half. Being vague, but also can't remember, so I'm being vague in character.
Mm.
Like, I remember, but do you guys remember what Green Hill was called? Anybody? For everybody else's knowledge, of course.
So as you guys approach, uh,
Before we walk in, I want to like nudge up to Al, be like, "Do you have any reservations for doing going this harsh way to get the truth, or do you have any other ways? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't
Uh,
upset the guy."
the only way I know how besides talking is we'll make us enemies. So it's I'd put it beyond a last ditch effort.
Okay. Well, if you guys are in the room, you will also be affected. So just be careful of the truths that you bring. Do you
Right.
know what I mean?
I remember that. Yeah.
Davis nuts.
You can also choose to be outside of the room, of course, just like last time. Well, that's pretty much it. And I'm just gonna like open the door, not even knock, and just like walk in the facility.
all right.
Onwards.
So the facility is fairly active. It is a work day. So you see the different entry points with the different people coming in with soil in the wheelbarrows, leaving to and fro. As you enter the common space to get into the Dusty Pick, you do see the same Dragonborn and Elven figure behind the work desk. Oh, hey, welcome back.
Hey, pleasant to see you today.
Yeah, likewise.
We'll be going to see Scoot real quick up in his office, and I'm just gonna start walking towards his office.
Dig it.
Um, did you have a
Yeah,
meeting,
no, it's cool.
sir?
He's expecting us. That's fine.
You
You're not.
remember us? Come on.
No, I remember you. You just, I didn't.
I mean, yeah, go ahead
I
and tell
need.
him we're coming. It's fine.
Don't make me. Okay. Security. You just hear them guys saying security, and within a few moments, let's see. Someone roll me 2d6.
Not it. I remember what happened last time I rolled.
Nose goes.
One
Oh.
or whatever.
Close.
Nice.
How much was it?
4 total.
Total of 5 for him.
4 total.
Well, I
Oh,
did
5
4.
total. So you got a 1 and 4.
Rocket did 4. Or I did 5
Yeah,
total,
Okay.
sorry.
I had a 3 and a 1.
Okay. So 4 total.
Yes.
So that'd be 6 total. So as the Dragonborn kind of calls out security, 6 uh they look like you would expect some sort of security detail here. Kind of
Some
come.
ruffians.
They actually don't necessarily look strictly like ruffians. They look more akin to like sellswords that you would see, but different in their demeanor. That was the general feel and read of the people up in the shelf. Uh, a human. It looks like it's a mix of human or another dragonborn and some others, and like a little gnome. They kind of come. Excuse us, excuse us. You're not permitted to be back here. If you would be so kind to turn around and return to the waiting area, I'm sure the lovely ladies in front can address your needs.
Well, we were going to see Scoot. The
That's
ladies don't have the answers and stuff we need. We were gonna go talk to Scoot. He knows
Yeah.
us. Like, we're
That's
This
friends.
is
fine.
a timely and exponentially profitable.
Yeah, just tell him the menagerie's here, and then
That's fine.
like
We
we'll
can
wait.
bring
We'll
in
wait
profit.
here, but you go get him.
Well, can we scoot you about 20 steps back because you're kind of in the set. We stopped you in the center of the workflow.
I mean,
So,
that's your
that's-
fault,
I'm like
not
rifling in my
ours.
pack.
That's fine. We are able to acknowledge we made a mistake, but we are also acknowledging that you're not supposed to be back here.
Are all
So-
these
I
people
mean, yeah.
close by?
Yeah,
I mean, they have us hemmed in, I assume.
Yeah, they kind of did an arc, like a concave to keep you from passing by. And like
I'm
now
gonna-
you see that
I've
as
been messing with my like pack. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead. You first.
I was gonna say, as you're having this discussion, you'll see that like the people that were like bringing in like the soil samples and the people that are processing, they're like all kind of stopped what they're doing on the various tables back here and just kind of looking over, kind of seeing what's going on.
Hey, could somebody just poke their head into Scoot's office, tell him the menagerie's here. He'll be delighted. Yeah, you over way back there. You're like 20 feet away from his office already. Just poke your head in, or not. I don't know. Just yeah, sure, whatever.
You'll hear like a sound of like a metal door squeaking open, like scraping open, as you all look up to the. They're welcome to come up. They are guests. So I wish you would follow protocols.
Yep.
Yes, let's
Sorry.
I
We're admittedly really bad with protocol.
We just and we
I'll
knew
tell you
you'd love to see us, so
love is a very strong expression, but you are welcome.
see, I told you guys. Back to work, you.
So
Back. Get.
you'll see like they look up and the one will call out to Scoot and say, "You sure, boss?" He'll acknowledge and nod his head. Yes. So I must reiterate, follow protocols next time. And then he leaves the door open, disappears into his office.
Whoever I was shouting at to go get him, I'll kind of scowl at a little bit. I'll be like, "Was it that hard?"
They just shrug.
the same
Like
thing.
That scene was very
If there's one
unnecessary.
next, yeah, if there's one next to me, I will also whisper at them, be like, next time, maybe you don't halt a business,
You guys are
Wait.
exuding real customers always right vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real Karen vibes here.
Give me your manager.
All right, Karen. Very well.
The Karen menagerie.
I wasn't gonna say it, but someone said Karen, so I am gonna go with it. Like, I'm trying to find. I was trying to upload a few things, and apparently it like if one thing failed to upload, everything else failed to upload. So
Oh, that's annoying.
yeah, when it says one of them is a soundtrack.
Yeah.
So let me try to fix this real quick. I don't see where he went. Blue. All right, please work, please work, please work.
Shouldered
Sorry,
up to Davis while we're walking in, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
slow walking in, I'm gonna just be like, well, before we break out the incense and stuff, I don't know, talk him into some stuff maybe beforehand.
Okay.
Right?
Well, yeah, sure.
Okay. Hopefully that all shows now. All right, cool. Yeah, cool. I think. All right. So as you enter his office on the second floor, the door was open. You'll see that as you step in, there are the various candles that keep this place lit, as well as like the central orb that is on his desk that emits light. He same old office. However, there are three other individuals in there that he has returned having a discussion with. And you just hear. So don't mind the guests. They are
Hello.
ones that I have seen multiple times now. They are very bad at following protocols, but they are of good intent. Uh, thank you for. And he's directing his attention to the three individuals in there. Thank you for your diligence and continued good services. If you have anything else to share, please come and check in within the next hour or so and make it a regular check-in cycle. They all nod. He, nods as well. I would see you out, but as you see, I have company. And he'll say, "It's all right, boss. We'll let ourselves out. You sure you don't want us to?" You said they're friends, but they don't look friendly.
No,
Sure.
we're friends. We're friends. You can walk them out. Be my guest.
Very well. Scoot stands. You see his full, brass body with like the masking style, working the black cabling that makes up his joints. It's ever so perfectly round glass discs for eyes that emanate that blue light. Probably where he gets his name Ultra Blue from. Uh, Actually, to be fair, the token that I found is almost pretty good. He just doesn't have like a nose piece. It's a little grate. It's like a little grate that makes up the nose piece. But otherwise, it's pretty accurate.
Huh.
So very well. Thank you. And as he's letting his three associates out, turns to see you.
Does he?
Why do you come and cause such a commotion?
Question on
And he starts.
Scoots: does his jaw actually move when he talks, or does he constantly look like he's stuck in a rictus scream while he speaks?
No,
Like it's
his
coming out of a speaker.
yeah. I kind of like that detail, but no. No, his jaw, the servos in his jaws function.
Oh.
It goes up and down. So, it is good to see you once again, Menagerie. Very strange weather. Last night, the storm was much more intense.
And weird looking, right?
The frequency of the lightning strikes at times was different. Other than that, I was able to find a good state of suspension and rest.
Did you happen to look outside last night?
I observed some of the precipitation and, as mentioned, some of the phenomenon of lightning and the residual thunder that it causes.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Well, kind of hard to insight check a robot.
No, it's not.
Not
They're
necessarily.
people.
Keep in mind, he is a person. He's not a machine. He's a person. He just happens to be of the Marian variety. Because there's no Warforges in Materia. They're called Marians. But
It's like that would be like us saying it's kind of hard to insight check an elephant. It's like,
yeah,
I mean,
true.
exactly.
You can't even see my mouth. You don't know what I'm talking about.
saw your tusks twitch.
14.
14.
Oh, of a total of, sorry.
Yeah.
22.
Oh damn.
Pretty honest, but he is leaving out details. But with the 22, he's probably leaving out details just because he's not going to tell you everything he did at night. Like,
Well, yeah,
you know, he may have done
that's
something else.
happening.
You get the sense that because you've met the Candlelighters, that he probably had some sort of discussions, but you don't know what, right?
It's not like you're gonna tell everybody at work that you just couldn't sleep because you played video games all night.
Exactly. So there's the sense of not everything being told, but he did see the lightning. He did listen to the rain and watch the rainfall. That well, it is it is nice to have visitors. However, is there a purpose to this unannounced arrival?
Well, that storm last night was not natural. There was something to it. And you know we are I think you're friendly. And I hope that you have the best of this mountain at whole in in your view.
I What are you trying to imply or get at? I see Carver as home. Of course, I want the best for my home.
Well, I wasn't here last time you had a chat with my compatriots here. I had a very long day that day, but
Hmm.
something was definitely off about last night, and with some of the truths that we told you about what happened to this mountain, it's something is happening here in Car.
Yes, I heard that there was some strange activity. A senile old man dressed in a cloak somehow made his way on top of the shelf walls, and rumors say that the guards got involved.
Oh, look at Rock.
Yeah, we wouldn't know anything about that.
Old man. What?
Oh, I am going off
Town?
details
No,
that
nobody notices anything properly in this town. There's like what? Ooh, the storm was mostly normal, other than lightning. Oh, senile. Just, I don't get it. And I
I
just
am sorry.
wander away.
I am reporting based on data collected from my colleague. Am I miss? Did I misspeak? Why did I upset Rock? Was his name? Why did I accept Rock? Upset Rock?
No particular reason. We'll get to that as it comes, but that wasn't entirely true either. Um, so you, sorry if I just keep asking questions. I know it could be weird, but I, were you connected to the shelf before? Right? I heard that you were connected to the shelf, right? Previously.
Mm, yes, I have vague memories of my time as a shelf member. I was here long before many of you likely drew breath.
Why did they I heard just it might be just rumor, but I heard that you're not in such good faith with them anymore. Can you glean any more details about this shelf?
Oh, the it is a consequence of my actions. It was long ago that I spoke up for the people of Carver, and that went poorly with those that run the shelf.
By speaking up for people of Carver was a bad thing?
It is what caused me to be thrown out.
I mean, you're here. Oh, of the shelf.
Correct.
Hmm.
Well, that's not cool. Like, what's wrong with speaking up for the people? They live here too.
I have, yes, I. You seem to me exactly that. Like you are personified as the. Are you an automaton, right?
I am a Marion.
You
Are
seem
you an
like
elephant?
close enough.
Very well.
Um,
So we can quip at one another.
you've got jokes. I like that. And I
I
set
have
out
picked up a few
like
over
a
the
mini
centuries.
block of incense. But I have some questions about the shelf. Me and my friends all have questions, I think, about the shelf. Because based on what we saw last night, we have suspicion that something is very wrong going on in the shelf. And it's kind of connected to this mountain as a whole, and perhaps how they treat everybody here in Carver as a whole. And you seem like the kind of you seem like the kind of person that really sticks out for the people of Carver because they're the workforce here, you know? You seem like you're the lifeblood of the workforce here in Carver. And what is a town without its people? And something is very wrong up there. So either we're looking for a good way in to confirm our suspicions or put a stop
Hmm.
to it.
You are likely correct that there is wrong going on here in Carver, but there has been wrong going on here in Carver since I can remember. Uh, I do stay here and am able to stay here because I have the support of the gem dust
They
and
need you.
the soot flags. They need me as much as I need them.
Now,
May may I
just to
ask?
just to ease any tension, we don't seek to get rid of the shelf. We seek to figure out the ailment that dwells within. You know?
I believe the ailment is old and has been there since, well, my time. So it is a deep rooted cancer. You may actually need to abolish the entirety of the shelf for there to be any benefit. But
Would that put you and Carver out if that were the case?
I do not know. I hear tales of some creatures that if you cut the head off, they survive.
Yeah, especially there's like things that have lots of heads, and it sometimes makes it worse.
Perhaps you could be the new head.
I do not know. Leadership is something I do for business. Leadership beyond that is something I have. I draw a blank on.
Well, without business, what is Carver anymore? An old mining town.
It would be, as you did not use the term, it would be a ghost town. And I wish to not live in a ghost town.
And you're doing fantastic at that. Putting these fine people to work. And I do feel like you probably give them their fair share. Not that you can't do too much, because there is not much here. And I understand that. But there's something wrong with the shelf. And
There has been something wrong with the shelf for a long time.
either way, you know where we're at. Is there a good way to get in there without causing a stir? Or talking to somebody who might figure something out? I don't know. Anybody else have some input here? I look around the room.
Jordan will. I mean, his employees seem to be able to go in and out.
Right. But they just kind of pass
That
through,
is,
right? Like they're not hanging out and going to places inside the shelf, right? It seems like they're just are they
they
limited to just pass through capability or what?
they are limited to an agreed upon path.
Fair enough.
It is the shortest point from the entry gate in the front to the entry gate in the back, where they travel along a designated path that is always monitored.
Hey, Scoot. And actually, real quick, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, but so all of the trustee names, including his, are on the wall around that the shallow cut gem, right?
That's what I
Uh,
mean. Yeah, I forgot the name. Trustee.
yes,
So so we would see like Ultra Blue, Laron, Estra, Ichi, and Solomon would be have been all the names around it.
yes, yes.
Okay, so I'll be like, hey, you were one of the like there's the five I don't know family people whatever like the five heads of the shelf. I saw your name on the wall with a bunch of the people. Who are the like? Do you know anything about the rest of them? I remember. I think Ichi was one. Uh, actually, here I'll roll an intelligence check see if I remember any others. Nope, I don't. Just like yeah, like could we? What do you think of them? Like, do they are they bad too? Are they all like? Are they all part of the problem, or could it be maybe some could be persuaded to be better? I don't know.
Uh, I am uncertain. I mean, anyone can change,
But you
but
know the people I'm
they,
talking about, right? Like, there's five of you, I think.
uh, yes, though I know some of the latest generations. Well, how do I put this? I am not aware of some of the latest generations.
Oh,
But House Laron has not changed heads since I have been here.
oh wow. Wait,
So, uh,
are they? How old are they?
Maxime is my elder. I do not know, or my senior, I should say.
Wow.
But as far as House Solomon, I I know the name of the latest head, and I have had some business dealings with them. But
Are they good? Are
Bregan
they cool?
is a stubborn no,
Oh,
very much enjoying the life of luxury and leisure that is bestowed upon them as a shelf member. They are a fat cow.
Not sharing their fair share. I've seen the like.
what about? I think Ichi was the only one I can remember. Other than so you said Maxime, LeBron, Solomon. You didn't. Who? You say? What's his name? I don't think you said.
Bregan Solomon, she
Break.
is
Oh, she.
the
Okay.
current head.
Now, this is gonna feel a little weird, but since you've been so forthcoming, I'll tell you a little bit about maybe a little bit about how things went down on the mountain again. And I'm gonna light a an incense with the spell Zone of Truth.
Should
And
I
when
mark?
I light it, they know that it's been cast,
Mhm.
and I'll post it in the chat just so you get a refresh.
Okay. While you're doing that, Solomon will spout out the other ones. There is a lady, Valerie Estra, which I knew her when she was a young child. Uh, Ichis are now currently run by Umiko, if I believe is her name. She is perhaps the most uh, independent of the rest of the shelf. That is the current four heads of the Tefra. Maxime Laurent, Lady Estra, Lady Ichi, and, well, Lady Bregan Sullivan. waiting
So
for your.
I heard you had memory problems.
Mm, I was indeed damaged and injured when the conflict arose that had me stripped of my shelf title
By
or
what?
position.
How?
Well,
What do you mean? How?
You were injured how?
Uh, there was conflict. There was civilian fighting shelf, and I was at the head of the civilian, and they struck me. And he kind of tips his head over, and you see the like it's soldered and fused shut.
Does it
I see.
Forgive me if that makes communication with me difficult. I am told I am absent-minded at times.
No, you're perfectly fine.
That is a lie, but I appreciate it.
Well, you're as perfect as you are at any second of time than now. And what got you here is everything that I'm just drabbling. No need to dwell on such things, right? It's not like you can
One second,
change.
guys. What's up? Oh,
so?
again. Okay, let me let them know. All right. Couple more minutes, and then I need to walk Anita down. So
Okay.
get your thoughts out, and we'll take a quick break.
Anybody have anything?
Um. So you mentioned that we might have to get rid of the shelf. What? I mean, it sounds like nobody really likes the shelf other than the shelf heads. But it
The
also,
shelf themselves and those that benefit from the existence of the shelf,
yeah,
they
but it,
have a standing Salesforce army.
okay. I was gonna say it sounds like that's that you tried that and that's how you got hurt.
Correct, but I was a member of the shelf at the time, trying to strike a coup. Now I am but a member of the Dust. My position is different. My perspective is different, but I do not seek to actively cause more harm to the civilian. And keep in mind,
Do you,
the shelf is able to operate because they have extensive trade.
so would you have any allies you could call on to maybe help with something like a coup in the future if we wanted to try it again? Because these guys suck. Sounds like.
They are bad, and perhaps. So,
So do you
is
have
there?
anybody you could count on to assist? And basically, I'm trying to suss out if he'll name the Candlelighters, more or less.
Uh, there are organizations I can reach out to, and I have friends such as yourselves potentially, as you have seemed to show an interest. And we'll take a break there.